Hi, hello there friends, Skyrionn here. If you're new, then welcome to the channel, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. This week, we're looking at another 10 times the Sims fans went too far. Part 3! So I noticed that you guys seem to like these episodes, so I went back to Reddit and I asked, what is the worst thing you've done to your Sims, and I got a lot more good ones. A little disclaimer, I'm pretty sure some of these have had mods attached to them, as some of these things aren't possible in normal gameplay. Anyway, let's get to it. Number 1. I once had a Sims family and I was trying to get the parents dating before they had kids. I wanted them to go on a date in the yard to have almost like a picnic type thing. I got the dad to sit down and look up at the clouds and cloud gaze, and when I was trying to get the mom to join, out of nowhere a satellite falls from the sky and crushes the dad to death. Rest in peace, Max Pence. Number 2. I tried very hard to play an honest game giving my Sim a normal life. She had a job, a shitty starter house, everything was great. But I didn't have enough money to get by. So, I adopted a kid. I built him a glass room. I placed my Sim's couch and table next to it so she could watch her new child slave. With all the basics. He had a bed, a trash bin, a fridge, a toilet and a sink. I also gave him 4 easels. He was not allowed to go to school or have friends. He was only allowed to paint. He was so unhappy, but he made me money and it was fine. Eventually, CPS came to take him away, but the lady couldn't enter the room because there was no door. I ended up building a wall around her, connecting it to the glass room, and setting her free with the child. He finally made a friend. Number 3. I was maybe 7 and my cousin gave me The Sims 1. I'm playing it on my family computer in the living room, having a great time making each of my family members. Turns out, my mom's Sim wasn't as good or cool as my actual mom, so she started a fire. Do you know what 7-year-old me forgot? A smoke detector. I'm crying at this point as my actual parents rush over to see me and themselves burning to death. They couldn't stop the game, so they finally just turned off the computer. I wasn't allowed to play The Sims again. Number 4. I used to play The Sims Busting Out on the PlayStation 2 with my friend. My friend had a kid, who kept sleeping in my bed regardless of him having his own bedroom. It happened every night for like 7 nights in a row. I got fed up, built a fireplace with a rug right next to it. I lit the fireplace, had the boy sit on the rug, build a fence around the rug, and watch them burn to death. When our Sims would cry at his urn and become sad, we decided to sell his urn. Fuck you, you little bed-stealing bastard. Number 5. At E3 the first year it was shown, I went on the demo unit and killed off all the Sims. Right afterwards, a camera crew came to record a segment on the game and the PR person freaked out because they didn't know what to do about the dead Sims. Thankfully, a QA person came by and reset the game before the camera crew was done setting up. Number 6. I made a female Sim and had her have like 5 or 6 relationships going on at one time. I had her propose to one Sim and then invite all the other Sims over for a party. I made sure she didn't talk to anybody and just made the 2 Sims get married in front of all of the others. It was chaos. All the other Sims freaking out waiting their turn to slap her in the face. There was so much screaming and crying. The next day, her trash can was knocked over every couple of hours. It was so much fun. Number 7. I used to make rooms so I could fill each square with babies. Then I'd sit back and watch the nanny spaz that she couldn't get to them. They'd die and I'd sell their crib things and repeat. Number 8. I remember being around 10 years old, playing the original Sims game. I had been playing with the Goth family for quite a while. Bella and Mortimer were my Gomez and Morticia Adams, my romantic power couple. The only problem was their annoying daughter, Cassandra. She cramped their style with her oversized glasses, know-it-all attitude and whiny voice. She annoyed me. She was their daughter, so I included her, looked after her and made sure she got good grades. During one Sim session, my mum was stood beside me and asking me about the game and what I was doing. I told her about the family and their lives in the home. She pointed to the screen and asked what was wrong with the girl. Cassandra was stood behind a desk chair that I placed in her room, waving her arms and complaining. The thought bubble above her head indicated that she was stuck, that something was in her way and she couldn't get past. I knew it was BS. She had done her homework at that desk 100 times before and never got stuck. There was nothing else there blocking her exit. I tell her she's so annoying, she says she's trapped, but look, there's nothing blocking her. If she's too stupid to walk around the desk then she might as well die. My mum replies, please don't let her die, that's not very nice," in which I respond, "There's plenty of room for her to walk around the desk." She asks if I can move the desk. I tell her that I can, but I shouldn't need to. She's never got stuck there before and nothing's changed. At this point, I hit the fast forward button and my mum asks what I'm doing, in which I respond with, "Speeding up the process." My mum gets upset and screams, "Please move the desk, please don't let her die." Fine. I return to normal time and move the desk. Cassandra went about her daily business, not knowing that a human had begged me to spare her life. Mum doesn't know that Cassandra met her end in a windowless room a few days later. Number 9. So I'm a huge Sims 2 player and have been playing since the game came out. I still sometimes find cool tricks with the games. Anyway, this one time I was testing putting my own music into the game and into the Sim radio. So I go into a pregnant Sim's house, buy her a radio and get her to change stations to find a song I installed. Anyway, not too long after I buy the radio, she had the baby. I got distracted with the new baby and forgot about the radio for a while, but when I remembered, I told my Sim to change the radio. But the baby started crying and she rushed over to pick it up. So I dealt with the little newborn and tell the lady to change the station, but again, as soon as she's over there, the fucker starts crying again. And this happens every time, so they're just listening to salsa music while the kid cries and cries. Finally, I have had enough. The lady goes to switch stations, the baby cries. It is too much. So I whip out one of the cheats and pick Death by Satellite. As soon as I saw the huge satellite coming through the roof and squish the baby in its crib, I knew I would be carrying around this weird sense of guilt and self-disgust for a while. Number 10. Hungry and going to the fridge to get yourself something to eat after a long day at the office? Well, too bad I sold it. Order a pizza because you can't take the hunger anymore? Hiding in the bathroom to make the call because you don't want me to see? I see how it is. Let me just force you to throw it out so you get a nice whiff before it goes tumbling into the trash can. Okay, so that was another 10 times the Sims fans went too far, part 3. What is the worst thing you've done to a Sim? Let me know in the comments. If you like this episode, then hit that like button, and if you really like this episode, then hit that subscribe button for more content every Sunday. Now, enjoy your day. Bye.